Hey guys, it's Reagan, your friendly neighborhood Reylo. So guys, I am finally back at it. Today I'm going to be talking about my episode 9 Reylo predictions. So guys, we're a year out from episode 9 and I'm so excited. Like, we're supposed to allegedly get a trailer by the end of this month or like early in 2019, which makes sense because JJ's at the helm now and he did a lot of press early for The Force Awakens, and I think that's perfect. It's great to build hype and kind of get away from The Last Jedi, even though I liked it. Kind of get away from that because I'm seriously tired of people saying The Last Jedi ruined Star Wars, and I just want people to be excited again. Okay, so that's kind of where I am with it. So guys, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is like kind of Rey by herself. For me, in episode 9, I want Rey to have a lot of character development. Now what I'm saying about this is because in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, Rey is kind of on the fence. Like, she's really hunting for her origin. Like, she's trying to discover like who she is, why she's a Jedi, all this stuff. She's wants to keep going back to Jakku. She wants to find her parents, blah blah blah. So like the thing about that is now Kylo Ren told her basically what she already knew, because Kylo just told her what he saw in her mind. So like, you can't blame Kylo. Also Kylo, that's what he believes is the truth. I do not think he was lying to her. There is something that I could think relate to her origin, but I'll talk about it a little bit later. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that. So I really want to see Rey kind of find her own and find herself like in the Force. What I really want her to do is develop her Force abilities on her own a lot. Like, I think that like Luke helped her a little bit, and of course like her stealing all of Kylo Ren's training from his mind did help kind of her progress with the Force. But I think it's time for her to kind of find her own place in the Force, and I kind of want to see that happen, where like you kind of see her like more stable, more like true to herself, because I do think there will be a time jump, and I just want to see her find her fit, maybe in the time jump or maybe just in the beginning. I do think that she could be a teacher. A lot of people are prophesizing or predicting that she will be a teacher and like teach the new Jedi. Like, for me, I kind of hope that she has more self-discovery first, if that makes sense, before she becomes a teacher, because like she's still new to the Force, and I think that that would benefit her more than like teaching kids. But also a lot of people learn through teaching, so that might also help her out. But I do kind of want to see her maybe conflicted and be like, I'm kind of new to the Force. Like, she doesn't have the answers to everything. Like, yeah, sure, she's reading like the Jedi text, but like, you know, it's something like that. So I feel like it would kind of be hard for her to be a teacher, and I would like to see her kind of struggle, and maybe have Luke as a Force ghost kind of mentoring her, even though he doesn't have the best track record as a teacher, or maybe Obi-Wan, or something like that, kind of having an effect on Rey. I also want to say, like, for me, I recently watched The Force Awakens because like JJ, and I was trying to see what things that he loose ends that he had in The Force Awakens that he could probably tie up in the Force Vision, which I thought was kind of significant. You have like Alec Guinness say Rey, and then you have Ewan McGregor say these are your first steps. So Obi-Wan is in the Force Vision. Now that's something that JJ added later on, according to a Ewan McGregor interview that I saw when he was like on Kimmel or Fallon or something. He said that was kind of, he didn't even really, like, he was in the movie, but like it was kind of late in the game when he like put that in, like honestly like kind of right before it went into like mass producing to be in theaters. So like that was kind of interesting, you know, I thought. So I do think that that has some significance. And you could say, oh, it's just because like Obi-Wan gave the lightsaber to Luke and kind of passed it on to Luke, and like that's what it means. But like, I still think that there is still hope for Rey being a granddaughter of Obi-Wan. Now I'm saying this, like, she doesn't have to have a like extreme origin, but I do think that since The Last Jedi kind of made people mad, I think it's good to throw the fanboys a bone, and also that would bring hype if there is announced for a Obi-Wan movie. So I think that that would be kind of a good idea to kind of add some things to it. I think that it'd be interesting, and also allow maybe Obi-Wan to be a cool Force ghost for Rey and a good mentor for her as he was her grandfather. So that would be an interesting dynamic. Also another thing that like Ma said after that happened, like, that I think was kind of interesting. So Maz was like, the belonging you seek is ahead of you for Rey, and also her parents are coming back, but there's someone who still could, and that I think has been Solo. So I think that that's just another sign of being redeemed. And also I think that Rey's belonging, like, I don't want her purpose kind of in the Force, I do think that Rey and Kylo Ren are counterparts, so that they do balance each other out in the Force. And people are like, oh well, that theory is dumb because like Snoke goes out there and is so powerful for a long time, blah 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 blah. Well, like Snoke kind of rose after the end of the Emperor, so you had Empire, so you had the Empire die and Darth Vader die, so Snoke got more power. I feel like Snoke could have grown in power. And then also, like, I feel like Snoke's kind of counterpart was Luke. So Snoke died, Luke died. So, like, balance, you know? So, like, that's kind of what I'm saying. And then they're like, people are like, nice Ren. I'm like, there's still other Force users out in the galaxy. Also, Leia's still alive when the Nice Ren is happening. So, like, stuff like that. I do think that the Kylo and Rey balance each other out. And I do think that's kind of her belonging is with Kylo and kind of he being her new family. So, like, that's kind of what I'm getting at. So, moving on to the connection that Rey and Kylo have, I do kind of want to see some domestic Force bond, if that makes sense. I would really like to see in the beginning of episode 9, like, Rey is, like, getting ready or something, and, like, she's talking to someone, and you're like, who's she talking to? And then, like, it's, like, Kylo Ren, and you're like, okay. And, like, he, like, just walks up to her and, like, acts, like, very domesticated, like, while she's getting ready or something. And, I don't know, maybe there's a peck on the cheek, I don't know. Like, that's, like, very, like, sitcom-y or whatever, but, like, you know what I mean. Like, something like that would be kind of interesting in the beginning of the, episode 9. Another thing is that I do still think that their Force bond is gonna... I think that their Force bond is gonna go strong, and I'm kind of, like, maybe see them, like, meeting or something, or whatever, or, like, in the beginning of the movie, like, there's a battle or something, because I feel like episode 9 is going to be very, like, battle heavy, and I think there's going to be a lot of things going on. I don't think it's going to be, like, The Last Jedi was kind of slower paced. I think that the episode 9 will be, like, boom, 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 boom. So, I think that, like, there might be a beginning battle, and, like, Kylo telling the Knights of Ren, I want the Jedi unharmed, bring her to me, and they're kind of like, why do you care about this Jedi so much? Stuff like that, like, kind of like this dynamic, where I think that, like, the Force bond will still be going on, because I do think there'll be a time jump, so I think that they will eventually kind of resolve, and, like, try to get themselves back on track, if that makes sense, and, like, trust each other more again, and, like, I don't know, but it's kind of hard to explain, because I don't know how JG's going to explain or, like, catch you up on that, but I would like to see kind of those moments. Another thing is that there's a theory that for, like, Kylo, he's going to have the mask on again, but this time with, like, red, like, super glue going through it and all that stuff, because it was badly damaged in the Last Jedi. Personally, for me, I kind of don't really like that, because I think that Adam Driver is a really good actor, and, like, him without the mask added a lot more depth to Kylo Ren's character. And, of course, I think, like, him still interacting with Rey, like The Force Awakens, I think that he won't have his mask on a lot because of those moments. So, I do think that even if he does have the mask on, it won't really affect Reylo, if that makes sense. And I think, like, maybe they'll be in a battle and Rey is like, face me with your own eyes or something, like, he has to take off the mask and he, like, throws it or something. I don't know. Something dramatic like that. I also think that it would be interesting. I'm very excited to see the Knights of Ren. I want to see their dynamic with Kylo. I want to see, like, them really talking a lot. Like, I kind of want them to have good dialogue with Kylo, and I want them to be pretty entertaining. I kind of want them to be kind of, like, you don't really, like, you make them kind of like the dark side more. Like, not, like, totally assassins, like, terrible, cold-blooded people. I want them to have more depth than that. So, that's kind of where I am with them. I think that the thing about Kylo is that him as a Supreme Leader, I don't think he will necessarily be, like, a terrible, terrible tyrant. I think what's going to end up happening is, like, he's initially going to conquer places and, like, start off kind of bad, but then, like, after he conquers the planet, I think that they will have good laws in place, like, because he does have some good motivations. I just think that he believes that he's, like, doing the right thing, and he's tired of the New Republic, and, like, the Senate didn't work out, so he takes it into his own hands to end things that he sees, which kind of makes sense for his character. And then I also think that he's not really going to find fulfillment in bringing the Supreme Leader, because, like, the First Order wants him to be, like, terrible and cruel and evil, and you have Hux, like, being more, like, evil and stuff, and he, like, wants to be a little bit better than that, so I think that he's going to kind of be annoyed with the First Order, and that will kind of lead him more into redemption. And I do think that, like, Rey is still going to have an influence on him, and I don't think, like, I think that they still are going to kind of lead each other to redemption. I would like to see, I don't know, we're talking about, like, affection. I don't know how the level of affection will be in episode 9. Like, for me, I either think that they could be, like, boom, they're, like, a couple, or, like, they're kind of like a couple, more like Last Jedi kind of subtext, and then like at the end they're a couple, and like there's a battle or something, and like they just like he like surrenders to her, like she kisses him or something like that. I don't know. Like it's kind of one of those things where like they're moving kind of slow. Like it's really weird because like it's so insta-lovey, if that makes sense, with The Last Jedi, where Rey's like, oh, I want to kill you, you're a murderous snake, and then like she's like, oh, I'm gonna save you, and like literally beats Luke because she's like, if you created Kylo Ren. So like it is kind of insta-lovey, so I wonder if they're gonna kind of continue that trend, like just kind of find some way to get over that little bump with the end of The Last Jedi, and then see more. So I don't know, either their relationship is going to be fully developed or it's just not going to happen until the very end. Another theory that people have been talking about is a Reylo baby. Now for me, as a Reylo, like I'm not really for like a Reylo child as of this point, if that makes sense. Like I think there's a way to do it. I think that it just is kind of a plot hole if they don't explain it well. Like hear me out. So Rey's gonna be pregnant, like that's gonna be evident. So either, and also like I still think the Force bond is gonna keep happening. Like they can't sever it. So either Rey goes like off world and like she goes somewhere else and has a Jedi discovery mission, and that's what she tells everyone. And she like cuts herself off from the Force and like finishes out her pregnancy or something. Or like she's at the Resistance and like she gets pregnant, people are like, who's the father? And people are like, and like she doesn't tell anyone or whatever. Or she gets like pregnant at the beginning, or she's like pregnant at the beginning and Kylo like finds out or whatever, and that kind of leads him to redemption, which is kind of a parallel to the prequels where Anakin like finds out Padme's pregnant and has all these visions of her dying in childbirth, and the Palpatine uses that and abuses that and like gets him to turn to the dark side, but instead like Kylo turns to the light side because he's like, I want to be with my family. This is not like it's more important than the First Order in the Sith. So like I don't know, like that's kind of where I am with it. Like it could like happen, but I just think that they have to do it pretty well. And like I think maybe what will happen is like at the end of the movie, like Kylo may die, and then like Rey like touches her abdomen and she's like, I'll always have a piece of him or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to me. Like I think that a Reylo baby could be used as a good instrument to lead Ben into the light side, but I also think Rey could do that by herself. And I also think that another factor that will play into Ben's redemption is Leia dying, because like there's also another parallel to the prequels. So like when Shumi died, Anakin kind of went more dark side and like killed all the Tusken Raiders. But so he kind of went more dark side and like more terrible. But then when Leia would die, like Kylo was kind of like takes a step back and he's kind of like, I'm part of the reason that killed her, and he's like, you can't take the guilt for like killing two parents, and so that kind of leads him more into the light side. I don't know. Like that's kind of where I am with it, and I do definitely Ben's redemption is on the horizon, because I also think that they're really drumming up sympathy with other things outside the movies. So like in The Last Shot, he almost got killed by a droid because people were always trying to kill him when he was a kid. Also, it's said in like one of the novels or something that Leia like felt darkness when she was pregnant with him, so Snoke's been in his mind since he was literally in the womb, and just been manipulating him. Obviously in The Last Jedi you had the whole thing where Luke like kind of betrayed him, almost killed him, and that's what sparked him to like burn up the whole temple. So like so you're kind of at the point where like this isn't really his fault. Of course a lot of it's his fault, but like you're like, these people made him like this. So that's kind of like, you're kind of like, he definitely could be redeemed. Like all these signs kind of point to him like being redeemed in the end. Also kind of as a parallel to Vader. I don't really think that this is going to be a rehashing of the Return of the Jedi per se, this movie, but I do think that there's some elements that JJ could include. So guys, that's really my thoughts on like Reylo in episode 9. I know like I'm not so sure exactly like everything with their relationship, if that makes sense. Like I don't know how much the level of affection they might have, but this is kind of my own thoughts and kind of where I think they're gonna go with it. So yeah, but yeah, so I'm really excited guys to see it. I think it's gonna be great. I'm very excited for this trailer. I think once I get the trailer, I'll be better kind of at analyzing this and reading subtext, but like, I'm so excited. So thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I love it when you guys subscribe, and I'm kind of going to get back at it. Like, I know like I've been in college and I did some other videos, but like, I want to get back into doing more Star Wars videos because I really enjoy them. It's just hard because I'm an engineering major, so time is kind of short for me, but You know how it is. So thanks guys for watching this video, and I'll see you later. Bye.